Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I am here with you for some more videos. And this week we are going to be using the Flowering Tulips Bundle. It is incredible and I hope that you will love it. So here it is. It is this beautiful die set which has individual tulips that you can put together on your own, or you can stamp them and cut them out like I've used these open die pieces here. For the leaves and things like that. So you're going to get to see quite a bit of things with this stamp set. I will be using it the whole week. I do blog every day. Check out my blog at inkyhandswarmhearts.com. It is linked in the description below. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way and we can get started. I'll talk to you a little bit about the card we're making today. It says, "Just thinking of you today," and inside we have a pretty tulip on the inside. I'm going to show you a quick display that I have here. This is for the I made this for the tulip dies. So when you get your dies, you're going to need 3 of them to make this larger tulip, and 3 to make this tulip, and then 2 to make the closed tulip. So this picture will be up on my website, so definitely check it out in case you're looking for what you need to do. And also when you stamp, you're going to 2-step stamp and 2-step stamp here, and then this one's 3 steps to add that little bit of black color on the inside. I used 2 different colors to show you the stark difference, but you're going to use the same color. What you want to do is stamp off, and I'm going to show you today. I'm going to be stamping this flower on the middle there, so that will be your guide. Let me go ahead and get started. I have to grab my scrap paper that I had here. I don't know where I have put it, but I'll find it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So to make this card, I'm using a piece of thick basic white cardstock, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at the 4 1/4 inch mark. So let's get my bone folder out, and we're gonna go ahead and burnish that. So our card's going to go in this direction. As you can see here, I have some green at the bottom, which I chose to use to make the grass area. So that grassy area is going to be in Granny Apple Green, and we are going to go ahead and use our blending brushes to get that color. So let me move this to the side, and I'm going to bring in my paper here and the Granny Apple Green ink pad. So we're gonna just rub the blending brush onto the ink pad and pick up some color. And then I like to deposit it onto my scrap paper first and get that initial dark spotting on there. And then I'm gonna work my way onto my cardstock. And you can see I'm using a circular motion. And so I'm just going to go about halfway. I'm going to pick up a little bit more green. And again, I'm going to start off, and then I will swirl it on just to darken that grassy area up a little bit more. All right, I'm loving that. It's looking good. What do you guys think? Good, right? All right, so that's our bottom. Now the top section, we're going to be using Pool Party. And so I'm going to use a different blending brush. And Pool Party is like an aqua, but it's real pale. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to turn this around so I can start at the top of the card. And again, I still, even though it's a lighter color, I still do that. And you're not going to see this one as much, but it's not going to be stark white anymore. Because like I said, this is a really pale color, and I'm just looking to get rid of that white and put some sky color in here without overwhelming the card with too much color. So I'm just going to rub one more time, and I'm mostly going to go around the edge so that you can see that darker pool party along the 3 sides here where it meets. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit more and I'm going to blend it down this middle where it meets the grass. All right, so there's the pool party. So that's the base for our card. So we've used the 2 blending brushes with the 2 colors. And that's what it looks like. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little bit of splattering. And so I'm gonna take some Coastal Cabana and I'm gonna press down on my ink pad to grab some of that ink in the lid. See how it deposited that color for me in the lid? And I'm gonna grab my Wink of Stella pen. And it has liquid in it as well. I'm gonna make sure it's flowing. So I'm gonna give it a little press there and make sure, whoops, it's certainly flowing. I pushed it a little too much. Okay, let me grab a paper towel to pick up most of that. I don't want it to get all over my card. It is definitely sparkly, as you can see. It's super pretty. It's what gives a little glitter look to the cards. All right, so there we go. So definitely I got it started. I do want it to be wet, but not quite that wet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick up some of this color here and blend it together with that sparkle. And then I'm just gonna tap like this and splatter that color in the sky, just like that. And then I will go ahead and grab my paper towel that I was using and I will purge that Wink of Stella color from my ink pad, throw that away. And then I will also purge it with the same paper towel. I will purge my Wink of Stella pen onto the paper towel until it is just plain, there it is, Wink of Stella color again. All right, so that's what we're gonna do with our Wink of Stella. And I love the splatter because not only do you have the colored splatter, but now you can have some just regular Wink of Stella sparkle. So we're gonna let that sit off to the side here for a minute. It's gonna take a minute to dry, but isn't that so cool? All right. So that's what we do with our fun Wink of Stella pen. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna show you while that's drying how to stamp your tulip. So we're gonna do the small tulip, and you can see from my piece here, we're gonna use this small stamp right there, and then this stamp right here. So those are the 2 steps that we're gonna use. And I'm gonna show you, we're gonna do with Mango Melody. I'm thinking pink. So we're gonna start first with the full color, which is gonna be the bigger stamp. So we're gonna go ahead and ink that up in the Mango Melody, and we're gonna stamp it full strength right there. Now we're gonna take our smaller stamp and then we're gonna stamp off onto a scrap paper. And then see this section here that kind of looks like an indented white section there? I'm gonna bring it down here so I can see a little better, but I'm gonna line up my stamp with that section now that I've stamped off, and then it adds that second color, that second generation of color right there. So that is how I got that Mango Melody tulip right there in the middle. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your die cut and you're gonna get this open die cut, this one right here. It's the smallest one because this is the larger, the middle, and the smallest. And then you're gonna die cut that out. Now I've already gone ahead and done the die cutting. So we have our rainbow of tulips. and they've already been die cut out, but I am going to go ahead and use this one more time because our tulip on the inside, as you can see on our card, is the same Mango Melody. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that on the inside of this card to show you, okay? So when I'm stamping this, I'm going to be using the Granny Apple Green for my leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and open my card. Let's move these guys down a little bit. And we're going to start with the stem. That's the key. So that's where we're going to put that down first. And so we want to make sure that our stem is far enough over that we can add our tulip. So we're going to just go ahead and stamp that down. And then we're going to go ahead and do our tulip next. And remember, we're going to go full strength on the larger stamp. So that's going to get attached right there onto the tulip. I just got to make sure I don't get my head in the camera. So there's our tulip at full strength. And then remember, we're going to stamp this one and we're going to stamp it off. And then we're going to go ahead and fill that in just like that. Now we're going to add the leaves. I don't need the Mango Melody anymore, but I still need this for the leaves. So I mounted one leaf on this side and one leaf on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and start with the larger leaf first. And I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. And I'm going to line that up on this side here. So there is our leaf. And now we're going to do the smaller leaf. So we're going to go ahead and ink that one up. And then I'm going to match that up with the stem as well. And there's my tulip on the inside of the card. All right. So now it's time to assemble the outside. I'm going to go ahead and move my scrap paper out of the way. All of our stamping is done, but I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stamps in my chamois and get those out of the way. The only thing I still have to stamp is our words, and we are going to do that with Memento Basic. The Tuxedo Basic Black that we have here is called Tuxedo Black Ink by Memento. That is my black of choice. And so we are going to go ahead and stamp that on this piece of Pool Party. And the sentiment says, just thinking of you today. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. I like doing it upside down because I like being able to see where my ink is going. And I'm going to try and get that in the center here. I'm going to move that to the bottom there where I can see a little better. I'm just going to put it right in the middle, a little bit to the right. So there it is, just thinking of you today. Let's go ahead and clean that. And then we're going to use our banner Pick-a-Punch. I love that one. It's a great punch. We're going to do this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and insert right down the track into the punch, and it lines up and pushes up against the back of that punch. And I just like looking at it to make sure that it's there. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a press, and it takes this little piece off right there, which gives us that cute little banner flag end, just like that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and attach this on. We're going to use our wet adhesive. We'll put this on first, and then we will start with our tulip. All right, so we'll put this down here on this corner here. We're just going to leave a little border at the top. That looks good. All right, So what we're going to do is we're going to attach our stem for our tulips. And for me, the best way for me to do it is to just place my tulips about where I want them on my card here. I have dimensionals on the back, 1 dimensional on the back of each. And I'm just going to kind of lay out where I want them to fall on my card. Okay. And I mean, we can move them around a little more, move them over, figure out exactly how we want them to be. But once we're happy with the placement, I'm going to go ahead and attach my stems, and those are going to get glued down, and I'm going to lift the flower to place this down. So let's go ahead and just put my stems. I've already stamped those, and with the same stamp that I used on the inside, and we're going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back. And then we're going to pick up our stem here and we're going to slide it under. So we'll do that one right there. And let's get a few of these ready here. This is what's going to get the wet glue. The rest is all going to get dimensionals. So I've already put the dimensionals on the back of the tulips, but we do need to glue these strips, the stems, down. I like to use my tweezers also because then I do not get adhesive on my hands. So this one's going to be a little bit higher, so I'm going to go ahead and push that stem up. That's good. And then let's do the next one. I can probably put the adhesive on a few of these and have them ready. Let's grab this one. And this one's going to be a little farther down. And then this one has the adhesive on it. This one's going to be higher, so I'm going to put the stem a little higher. And then we'll do this one a little bit lower. Let's move these guys over closer to me. So basically, we're just going ahead and adding our stems. I'll put this one kind of low. And then we have 2 more. The blue one is a little higher. And then our purple one. All right, so the purple's the shortest one. All right, so all of our stems are in place, and we're going to let them hang off the end. That's fine. Now we're going to go ahead and attach our flowers onto the back. So we're going to use our Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to use the pointy end because, you know, I like to pull the backs off. I'm going to go ahead and flip all of these flowers over and pull the backs off so that they're ready to go. Whoops, I didn't mean to get that one stuck to me. 1 more to go. All right. So let's start attaching our little flowers. It's coming right along, isn't it cute? Oh, I love it. Let's put this one a little bit lower. And this blue one just slightly higher, and then the purple one's going to be the shortest one. So how about that? That's looking good so far. Now we're going to go ahead and do our leaves. And we have some of the short and some of the long leaves. There's 2 sizes. So I'm going to go ahead and flip them over. These are the short ones. And I'm going to spread them out onto my surface here, and then the bigger ones. Oops, there we go. Okay, so I think I want a bigger one back here. Let's see, maybe like that. We'll put a smaller one over here, like this. I'm just going to lay them out how I think I want them to look, and then we'll start picking them up and attaching the dimensionals onto the back of them. So we'll do, over here, we'll do another small one, and then maybe a big one. This one's pretty. Let's put this one right here up a little higher. And then we'll just give this one stem right here. And then we'll do one on this one, we'll do the large, maybe right there overlapping. And then let's do these last three. I think I want a large one here, so I think I'm gonna grab this one and put this one maybe this way so that there's more room kind of covering those up. And let's put this one a smaller one. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we'll start with this large one since it's going to be underneath that one. And we're going to put a couple dimensionals on the back, just 2. And let's go ahead and remove this and place it. Now we can do this one because it's an overlap. So this is actually going to just get a dimensional at the top here. I'm going to put a little wet glue here so that where it overlaps, it will actually touch with the wet glue. So you're just going to go ahead and play with it little by little. This one's going to have most of it, so let's put 3 on this one. We'll put 1 up high, 1 there, and 1 a little lower because most of this leaf is going to show. And using the Take Your Pick tool makes it so simple because you can pull the backs off so easy with that to get your leaves. That's looking awesome, I think. Anyway, I'm going to do this one next. I'm going to do 2 on this one. There. Let's grab my Take Your Pick tool. And we're going to put this one coming kind of from this direction, and then this one's going to overlap. And so since it's going to overlap at the top, I'm going to put 2 dimensionals kind of near the middle, and then we're going to put some wet glue at the top section so that it will stick onto the leaf that it is on top of, like that. That looks awesome. And then let's do these. So it looks like this one is going to be, let's start with this side. Let's just work our way down. So we'll do this one, 2 here at the tip, and 1 down. So we're going to work our way to the middle. So this one looks good right there. Remember, whatever's hanging off the bottom, we're just going to snip right off. So that works out rather perfect. Let's go ahead and do 2 of these near the top. And then the rest, that's awesome. This one's going to be overlapped, so we just need near the top as well. That's why laying them on top really helps you figure out what you want to do. And then we're going to put some wet glue down here so that where it touches that leaf, I'm kind of going to tuck this one behind this leaf a little bit, like that. I think that looks awesome. It looks like we just have 2 left. So we're going to do this one here. So I'm just going to put 1 dimensional there. This is going to get glued right there. So let's just put 1 right there, and I'm going to put some wet glue at the top. Because that one is going to be overlapping right there, and that will help hold that in place. And then the final leaf, I guess we're going to need maybe 2 or 3 on that one. Let's see how many we can fit. I think 1 more, and then let's pull those off. All right. That looks great. Now, it looks like a hot mess right now, doesn't it? But watch what happens when I trim these off. Let me close my glue because we're done with that. We're done with the tweezer. Let's move the Take Your Pick tool and let's bring in our paper snips. All right, so I'm just gonna open our card and I'm just gonna line the edge of my snips right up to the edge of the card. And then we're just gonna do one tulip at a time and we're just gonna cut straight across. And by using your snips right up against there, it's trimming it even with the end. We're just gonna let all the little scraps fall onto our work surface, and when I flip it over, you'll see. So there's that one. And then we have one here. And the last one. And it looks like we have a tiny bit of overhang on this side. And let's just make sure that we are smooth. I'm just gonna go ahead and run my paper snips along. I think it is smooth along the bottom. Let's get rid of this and then we'll have the big reveal. All right, here comes the big reveal, guys. Amazing. Look how awesome that looks. This looks pretty cool. Now we're going to add a little bumblebee. So these are the Bumblebee Trinkets. And you get a bunch in there. We're going to use our mini glue dot. So I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool again. I'm going to grab my mini glue dot. I got to find it on my roll here. Here we go. And I'm just going to kind of fold it over on itself because the bumblebee is kind of small. And I'm going to put this on the back of the bumblebee. And then this will adhere it coming down like this. It's making a beeline to its tulips. That looks pretty awesome. These are super cute, aren't they? Adorable. You get 20 in the package. And then we're going to use the Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I love these. We're going to use the other side of our Take Your Pick tool. We're going to use the putty end. And let me get my putty ready to grab these. So we're going to use 3 of these little small ones. So I'm going to put one down here. And then one up here. And then I want one on my words here to kind of draw attention to that. And I love that these rhinestones take the color of what's behind them. Isn't that so pretty? So there is our card. Let me give you guys some dimensions. So basically we used an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of the basic white thick. I used scraps of basic white to stamp all of my tulips with and the leaves, and then I die cut them out using the tulip dies. The open ones. Here's the stem, here's the leaves, and then this was the small one that I used right here. And then I stamped those just like I showed you how I did this one with stamping off for your second stamp. The colors that I used are Poppy Parade, Melon Mambo, Flirty Flamingo, Mango Melody, Coastal Cabana, Pacific Point, and Gorgeous Grape. And then Granny Apple Green is our leaves. Our backgrounds, we use Pool Party to do the blending brush, and we use Granny Apple Green to do the blending brush back here. And then to splatter with the Wink of Stella, I used Coastal Cabana, which is this color here, because it was just a little darker and I wanted it to stand out. And this was our Memento Basic Black. So definitely check out this amazing bundle of products, the Flowering Tulips and the Tulip dies. They're amazing. And check with me tomorrow where you will see another awesome video. I'm very happy to be with you guys today, and I am grateful if you've stayed with me to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will share my video and help me grow my channel. There are links in the description below to purchase these items. It'll send you directly to my store. If you go to my blog, inkyhandswarmhearts.com, I do have a host code there, and I do appreciate if you will use that for the month for orders under $150. And if you do order, you will get my customer appreciation card, so definitely check that out. Use the host code so that I know that you want the card. And thank you very much for watching. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!